Everyone asking, like, where's Andrew Marty been this whole season? Because it looks like he gave y'all a nice glimmer of hope there Saturday.
Yeah, he played really well. It's kind of just been a weird year with the quarterbacks. They've all kind of done their thing. We've all known what everyone's capable of, and Andrew just played really well Saturday. Just hoping he keeps it up, keeps his confidence up going into Saturday.
Out said he had a terrible week of practice last week. Have you noticed that? Is he better during games than we have much of a sample size,
I got
but
one game to look at.
Right, but you know what I mean. I mean, has he? I don't know. Is he just struggle in practice? Is he not focused? Like what's your take on that?
I'll agree with Vince. It's pretty bad, but he came in and he played his butt off. So credit to him. When time came, he did what he needed to do. Obviously, we still didn't win the game, so there's more to it. But I thought he played really well and did what we asked of him.
Do you ever look up in the crowd during games, and is it a little disappointing these last few weeks to not see a very good student turnout and just not a lot of people in general wearing purple?
I don't think we've done much to bring people to the game, so it is what it is. I'd like it to be more, but I don't really think about that stuff during the game. Actually, even when it's a big crowd, I don't really think about it, so it doesn't really affect me.
Andrew took that shot on the sideline and bounced right back up. Did you guys take note of that?
Yeah. I mean, he's a tough kid. He's a big kid. When that happened, it was kind of like, all right, he's ready to play. We can fight for him because he was fighting for us, so it was good to see.
Recently, you guys have been running the ball about 50 times a game. Just schematically, what can you do to keep teams off balance when you're running the ball that much?
I think, ultimately running the ball opens up the pass game. It makes it easier. When the opportunity comes to pass, we have to capitalize, which will keep teams honest, which will help the run game. So it's kind of works with each other both ways. We just got to execute when the time comes for us as receivers. When we need to throw the ball, we need to keep blocking on the perimeter as well.
Jared Thomas said, when things like this year happen, it makes you hungrier. The guys who will be coming back next year, it's going to drive their hunger, drive their motivation even more.
Yeah.
How do you respond?
I absolutely agree. A bunch of the other guys have already talked this offseason. We're going to have to change some stuff with just how we approach things mentally. With a lot of the young guys that haven't experienced what we have, and we obviously have not. The guys who are playing this year did not do our job clearly. But we're just trying to end the year 1-0, bring the hat back, and just end on a positive and go into the offseason with that. So.
What did you not do?
That's what we got to figure out. That's what older guys, when we come back for the offseason, we got to figure out what was wrong, what we need to fix, and get it solved as quick as possible so we can go into spring ball, start working, timing, all that stuff, get that stuff fixed, and then when we go into fall camp, we're already ready to go.
Riley, you and the rest of the guys on the team, that group of older guys that you're talking about, you guys haven't really been in this situation before. Does that mean you're going to do things like you're talking about with those off-season meetings? Does that mean you're going to do things differently than you have the past couple of years in terms of how to try to turn things around earlier on in the off-season?
I think we're just going to have to take a different approach to how we prepare guys that have not played or have not played a lot. I think we just got to – because my freshman year was the Pinstripe Bowl year. No one was really happy with that year. We won a bowl game, but we were 6-6 ultimately. So that offseason, there was just a lot of – not change per se, just a lot of expectation for people that just the little things, clean up the little things, and just cleaning up the weight room, little things like that. So because that stuff all adds up to how you approach football. I know it doesn't sound like it makes sense, but it's how it goes.
So you've mentioned off-season preparation. The off-season starts Sunday. Just what do you hope you accomplish in the first couple weeks of the off-season?
Set the tone for how we're going to approach things. Keep guys hungry, because this year's obviously been a major disappointment because we had very high expectations and we did not do our job. We just got to get everyone on board, get everyone in the same mindset so that when we go into the off season, we're in attack mode at all times, and we can be ready when our time comes next year. But our goal is to go 1-0 this week, ultimately. So.
You know, you guys have had Illinois' number the last couple of years, but that's been the case also with a couple of other teams you guys played earlier this year. Do you think it means anything having beaten them the last couple of years, knowing how much better they are this season?
It's rivalry week, so anything goes. Doesn't matter. We've been in their situation, and they've been in our situation record-wise when we played them, and it's always been a fight. So they're going to give us everything they've got. We're going to give them everything we've got, and we're ready to go and try and win the hat.
Do you consider Illinois to be your guys' biggest rival, and why?
I mean, yeah, there's a trophy to play for. It's the end of the last game of the year every season. It's fun. I know a lot of guys on that team, so it kind of makes it a little more fun for me personally. But I think so. It's just a different atmosphere, knowing that you're playing for something directly at the end of the game.
Are there teams you'd like to have trophies made for you guys when you play them?
In college?
Yeah.
No. It's just Illinois and bowl games.
Well, is there anyone you'd like to have?
Oh, that's not up to me. I don't know.
But if it was up to you.
If it was up to me, every game would have a trophy.
Jared Thomas said this last week. When things like this season happen, it makes you hungrier. The guys who'll be coming back next year, it's just going to drive their hunger, drive their motivation even more. How do you react to that?
I couldn't agree any more with that statement. I think that's how we feel right now, and I think with the amount of disappointment we've had, the guys coming back, we're going to want nothing more than to succeed going into this next year. I think a lot of us and a lot of guys that are in the program who are younger came in and just saw the success we had and thought it was just kind of a right, and then we realized this year how earned it is, and so we got to go back and get it back.
And Riley said some of you older guys have already started talking about the approach you're going to take in the off season.
Yeah.
What have you discussed, and what's your approach going to be?
Yeah, well, we don't have to reinvent the wheel here. We have the talent, we have the coaching, we have everything that we need in this building. It just comes down to the little things that are fixable. And when it came down to it, we didn't execute on Saturday this year as much as we needed to. And the stuff in the offseason we need to fix, we're going to get fixed. But ultimately, it's stuff that is fixable. So we're not hitting the panic button completely. We're just going to go back and go to work.
Chris, from sort of an outsider's perspective, it seemed like you've done a really good job cementing yourself as a starting linebacker this year. How would you evaluate your performance looking over the season?
Well, first off, thank you. But I know that there's a lot of stuff I have to work on, and you're never a finished product, and that's how I think of myself. And I think I've made a lot of improvements from last year to this year, and it just makes me think how many more improvements I can make from this year to next year. And it's really valuable when you get experience. You could see what you're missing as much as what you're good at. So I kind of have a better sense of what I need to do this offseason to improve upon. So I'm really excited for that opportunity.
And when you have sort of a breakthrough season, replacing a guy like Nate Hall and making yourself a starter, even in the midst of some team struggles, how do you sort of reconcile those two things? Like you feel good about your performance, but feel like you need to do more for the team to get some wins.
Exactly. I don't think there's been a game this year where I thought, good job me, but bad for the team. I mean, there's no way to make a loss feel better. So I'm glad I felt that way this year. I'm as we said over here, I'm extremely hungry going into this off season, not complacent in any sense of the word, and can't wait to get back to work and get ready for next season.
Sometimes when you look up at the crowd, last few weeks there hasn't been a ton of students and just a ton of people wearing purple in the stands in general. Is that disappointing to you at all when you see that?
Not at all, actually. That's 100% a result of our team success currently and what we've been doing. And I'm not going to lie, if I was a Northwestern fan and we had the season we had, I'm not sure I'd be in the stands either. I don't blame them. So if we want people in the stands, we win. It's not any crazy equation or any mystery. There's a way to get people there, and we've got to do it.
All right, so what took you so long?
I can't put an answer to that. I'm not sure. I think I've always been confident in myself, and it's just kind of been how the ball rolled this year.
Ted said you had a terrible week of practice last week. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do agree. That's why I wasn't the starter. I just made a couple bad mistakes in practice. Didn't get confidence in the coaches, and I didn't really have confidence in myself. But, you know, when it becomes game time, I think you just got to switch your mentality, and that's what I did. Just went out, as I said, just played football.
Have you been a bad practice player throughout your career?
No, no. That's not, if I was a bad practice player, I wouldn't be here. It was just bad Tuesday, Wednesday practice. So I mean, I got to build on that for this week, no doubt.
You went to your first quarterback camp summer before 6th grade?
Is that right?
Fifth or sixth.
My older cousin was a quarterback.
Started attending NFA camp summer before it started 6th grade.
That is correct. Yeah. Okay. There you go. I forget sometimes, but I went with my cousin who was the quarterback at Butler University. So there was a camp in Tennessee, and we drove down for a weekend. And that was really a pretty big moment in my career. The NFA, National Football Academy, all those guys. I still am in touch with Will Hewlett, who I worked with over the off season. I mean, he's incredible. He's a really good guy.
So that early, were you sort of dreaming of being a great quarterback?
Yeah. Funny story, also tying to my cousin. When I was in 7th grade, I would go to the high school after middle school practice and work out with my cousin, Will. And while he was there, he was getting recruited, and Randy Bates swung through the office, who was our old linebacker coach. He was the first college coach I ever talked to. And went home that day with a little flyer of this facility that we're standing in right now. I told my mom I was going to go to Northwestern. So that's a kind of weird full circle moment, but it was pretty cool.
When was that?
7th?
That was 7th grade. Yeah. A while ago.
And so wanting to be a quarterback for so long, and then having to sit for the last 3 years and not getting any action, how hard was that? How antsy did you get? And then how did you keep your focus?
I think with patience comes maturity, and that's just kind of how I've had to grow over the last couple of years.
Is it hard to be patient?
It's always hard. I mean, you're playing a game you love, so when if you're not playing, you just gotta, as I said, you got to work with the people in the room that you're with. So working with Riley, working with people like that to elevate their game and yourself ultimately reaches you to where I need to be and how we can help each other win a game. So
last week, when did you know that Hunter was going to be the starter?
I just listened to Coach Fitz. So on Friday when they had things going on, I was just rolling with how the cards were dealt.
And do you guys still not know who it's going to be for this week? Between
I don't know. Is there a roster thing? I'm not sure.
Well, but last time Hunter wasn't on the depth chart and he started. So
yeah, I don't know how it works, to be honest with you. I just let the coaches deal with that.
And then if you do, wind up playing a significant role in this game, you're only your second real full game of work, and it's coming in the rivalry game with a trophy on the line. Do you welcome that sort of added pressure, if you will, even in a season that hasn't really gone to plan?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, rivalry week, as Riley said, anything can happen. You're playing for a trophy. You're playing for something bigger than yourself and this team. It's a big game for this program, and it's a really big game for the seniors, as it's their last one in the purple and white. So.
When you guys run the ball as much as you do, what can you do to prevent teams from just stacking the box, and what can you do to keep them off balance?
You just got to be dynamic, I think. The more you run, the more it sets up a pass game. The more you pass, the more it sets up the run game. So finding that equal medium.
Is that bruise on your left arm? Is that from Winfield?
Maybe. Probably. Yeah, he stuck me pretty good.
That was a huge shot. What do you recall seeing on that play, and were you just thinking?
From what I remember, dropped back. I didn't see anything there, so I took off and ran. And I was trying to get out of bounds to stop the clock because I believe it was a 2-minute period. So just trying to get the next play going.
And I've never played football, so I don't know what it's like to get hit that hard. But then does something kick in where you say, I'm going to get up as fast as possible so it doesn't look like I'm hurt?
No, I think I was more just my adrenaline was through the roof. So I think that's kind of just how I responded naturally. I wasn't thinking, oh, I got to get up. You know.
We're trying to show off.
No. I didn't really feel it. I was kind of fired up to get back up and get the next play going.
The next morning, Sunday morning.
Yeah.
How did it feel after getting the snot beat out of you for the first time in 3 years?
I got a massage for the first time. That was fun.
You carried the ball. You ran the ball more times than you threw it on Saturday. Is running the ball something you're comfortable with and a big part of your game?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think going forward you're going to try to be more of a pocket passer or more of like a dual threat type quarterback? Or
whatever we need to win a game. Yeah.
Did you ever think of taking the baseball scholarship instead of the football scholarship?
Football is my passion. I talked with Xavier. They were cool, but it's too close to home. Football is where I wanted to go and play. So.
And did you really throw 90?
92.
When Northwestern decided to take Hunter Johnson, did you have a moment where you thought, maybe I should look around and see what other schools? Why not?
No. Look around. This place is pretty special. Got my best friends in the world here. Coaches that support us. The next 40 years, not the next 4, right? So all those things.
anything else for Andrew? Okay, thank you everyone.
Thanks, guys.